What's going on, everyone? I am H.B.Y, Michael to those that know me better, and I'm coming to you with my predictions for what I think is going to go down at Battle of the Bay 7, presented by King of the Dot and Teddy Grizzle. For a long time, Battle of the Bay has been the ultimate tentpole event for the Fresh Coast battles scene. Battle of the Bay has been responsible for too many classic battles to name, and this card promises to continue the lineage set by Battle of the Bays of years prior. Now, while we're mere hours away from the day one card that's going to feature such battles as PH versus Joe Cutter, Reverse Live versus Incredible, Peanut versus Two-Face, and Megadeth versus A.B. Hoggish, amongst others, I want to get into the day 2 card. For the first battle up on the day 2 card at Battle of the Bay 7, we've got Rum Nitty, the 4th quarter representative out of Phoenix, Arizona, going up against New Jersey's Lotta Zay, representing Team Hami, and Abo, all body bags official. Both Rum Nitty and Lotta Zay have some of the best resumes within battle rap. They're both pretty underrated battlers. They're good with wordplay. This is definitely going to be a close battle. Could go either way, but for now, I'm going to go with Lotta Zay taking it 2-1, but by a very, very slim margin. And for the next battle, we have KG the Poet, also out of Phoenix, representing 4th quarter fam crew, going up against Heartless, representing SONS from Stockton, California, who is finally making his debut on the King of the Dot stage. They're both highly regarded as having some of the best wordplay within battle rap. But for this battle, 2-1 KG the Poet, with Heartless getting the first round. While Heartless is one of the best writers in the world of battle rap, his performance is still lacking a little bit, which is something that KG the Poet has a lot of. But definitely keep an eye out for this battle. And the third battle up on the card for Battle of the Bay 7 is a battle that I understand a lot of people are confused to be seen on a Battle of the Bay card. We have Swave Sev out of Harlem, New York, representing Team Hami Rebel Arms official, going up against the ATLian Workshop representative out of Atlanta, Georgia, Nestle. I'll admit though, on their own, these are two of the most underrated rappers within the battle rap world. Swave Sev created his reputation for having some hard-hitting punchlines and knowing how to break down his opponent's character, while Nestle is best known for having one of the best flows in all of battle rap and having some really creative punchlines. However, for this particular battle, I'm giving it the first 3-0 of the night to Nestle. Simply put, Nestle has had better momentum, having beaten people like Toomey and Jinai over in Scrabbles for Money in South Africa, and also beating Heartless very recently on the Don't Flop USA card in Atlanta back in November. Meanwhile, Swave Seva, outside of a couple of small battles like him versus Show Off and RBE, didn't really have that many good major showings last year. He was only okay-ish against Arsonal, and he did not do well against Averb and Guerrilla Warfare. But for all I know, this could be like the Big K versus Immaculate for Battle of the Bay 7. Remember, expectations were particularly low for Big K versus Immaculate going into Battle of the Bay 6. But they ended up having one of the best battles of that entire card. But now we're coming up on some key matchups featuring some notable Bay Area rap veterans. The first one that we have up is a very odd mismatch in my opinion, where you have Caustic out of Union City, California, a battler who has created a reputation in King of the Dot specifically for being one of the best character assassins around, going up against the always charismatic Head Ice out of Harlem. Along with Nestle versus Swave Seva, Caustic versus Head Ice is going to be one of the most standout styles clashes for this Battle of the Bay card. I'm interested to see how this turns out. It's going to be a hard decision. I may give it to Caustic 2-1. Granted, Caustic didn't quite put Cali Smooth in that body bag over at Ether, and Head Ice I think is preparing a little bit more for his mystery opponent over at Blackout 5 in just 2 weeks up in Toronto. And plus, these guys are pretty cool with each other. I don't think it's going to be that super duper personal of a battle, but you will get some slick punchlines from Caustic, and you're just going to get that game from Head Ice. Now we're going to get into a matchup that I've actually been waiting to see for the last couple of years, because you have the Saurus, originally from Monterey, California, the former King of the Dot champion, 2-time Scribble Jam winner, and 2-time Jump Off WRC champion, alongside Immaculate, going up against former King of the Dot champion out of Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, Bender. Now these two are very, very evenly matched when it comes to bringing those bars, especially when it comes to those multis. This is going to be a little bit difficult to call. This may not be a popular pick, but I think Bender is going to take this battle 2-1, possibly with the Saurus taking the third round. But of course, this depends on whether or not Bender happens to be on his Sid Vicious type shit. You know, third round where he just did the flat serrated Patrick Bateman's business cards, Griffith Park, Shipping Yard, Quickie Mart, all those multis. That's how I think he's gonna beat the Saurus. But now we've got the second to last matchup to call. We have Pass representing Oakland, California, going up against B motherfucking Magic out of St. Louis, Missouri. This is definitely the battle I'm looking forward to the most on this card. They're both very well known for having some of the best punchlines around and just being the best pure rappers around when it comes to flows. But this is gonna be a pretty simple one. I'm gonna call it 3-0 for Pass. B Magic may squeak by on, let's say, the first round. I think the Bay Area is gonna be very receptive to B Magic. But with that said, battling Pass in Oakland is like battling Pat Stay up in Canada or battling Murda Mook in New York. It's pretty hard to beat them in their home court, especially considering that Pass debatably beat Hollow the Dawn at Battle of the Bay 5 and whooped DNA's ass back at Battle of the Bay 6. If he wants to at least get around, B Magic definitely has to be on the same shit that he was in his battle against Chilla Jones. I think B Magic may potentially get around, but potentially it could be a 3-0 for Pass. And now we've come to the main event for Battle of the Bay 7, a crown jewel for this particular event. We have Arsonal the Rebel out of Newark, New Jersey, going up against the return of Mistah F.A.B. Throw up the Th's. Kudos to Arsonal to taking on a challenge to battle F.A.B. on his home turf, on his birthday especially. But I think this is going to be a very easy decision. I'm going to call it 3-0. No body bag though for Mistah F.A.B. And not just because Mistah F.A.B. has home field advantage. Mistah F.A.B. is the first industry rapper, at least in the United States, to jump back into the battle rap world and not be completely delusional. That's why I think brought down Cannabis and Joe Budden in their respective battles, and that's why Cassidy basically sounded very dated. We all saw that video from Rap Grid where Mistah F.A.B. was outside Duel in the Desert, sparring with Billy Boondocks and Gallico and Johnny Storm. I think that Mistah F.A.B. has the right combination of punchlines, freestyle abilities, but then also knowing how to properly attack an opponent. Arsonal may make it look closer on camera upon replay. Mistah F.A.B. is gonna treat Arsonal the same way Hitman Holla and Sharon treated Arsonal, which if you saw those battles, the Rebel pretty much lost those battles. I wanna know from you, who do you think is gonna have the performance of the night at Battle of the Bay 7? Which battle are you looking forward to most, and who do you think is gonna have the worst choke of the night? Let me know down in the comments below. If you're in the Oakland area, you can actually get your tickets at the door over at Venue Oakland, 420 14th Street in Oakland, California. Or if you're like me and you can't make it to be in the building for Battle of the Bay 7, make sure you purchase the pay-per-view over at battleppv.com. It's gonna be a live broadcast with post-battle commentary by Fresh Coast legend Dirtbag Dan and the editor-in-chief of BattleRap.com, Chris Mitchell. I have a feeling that Battle of the Bay 7 is gonna continue the lineage of one of the greatest battle rap events in the modern battling era. But that's gonna do it for me. You're all fantastic. Continue to stay awesome, and I'll see you next time. Cheer!